Yo, hello. Welcome to a day filled with absolute monster races for Link to Past Randomizer Invitational League. We have quite the match for you here today. Already, we're going to get some really nice popcorn here on Team Hime's side, represented by Kermit, facing off versus CrossKeese, represented here by Breve. I am Claire Mouse. Joined with me is one of Team Hime's, teammates. Ravis, how's it going? Cass is chatting for us. It's gonna be a fun time.
Yes, hello. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one, hopefully.
Yeah, we for what is just for full disclaimer, we got a little bit sneak peek as to the team strategy routing on Kermit's side. When he says it is time to skip, it is time to skip. We're gonna see a good number of hopefully they're going to be good saves.
Right?
Yes.
We get some ideas. So, I mean, first of all, we're playing casual boots, right? People who might have followed the casual boots tourney are familiar with the start. We have the boots, we get a sword, and we get a second sword as well for now. Yeah, I mean, already master sword, quite nice. So normal escape sequence, right? We get already a check, and it's Pendant Eastern Red Crystal in Desert and a regular crystal in Hera. But yeah, we're gonna save Zelda, and from there on, then the runners will decide where to go. So yeah. But back to the info that you mentioned. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was actually just gonna ask. So like, was there any type of I guess like strategy about rushing Aga, or was that? I mean, we're gonna see a couple of things that on Kermit's side at least of what he is planning on not checking, at least probably not until last location. But any strategies I guess for this case, if we get a lamb, how likely do you think either Kermit or Breve is gonna rush Aga?
Well, I would say it probably depends a little bit on what's on Lumberjack Ledge.
Famous. We may or may not be checking that on Kermit's side. I'm just saying.
That was one of the things that he said we can expect to be skipped today, including Zora as well, even if he has the money. So a couple of things that he already decided to not check in this race, but we're gonna see it. Maybe the Master Sword is gonna change his mind, and if the lamp is coming up, maybe he's also getting even more push to check it.
The biggest play here would be if we find the lamp here in the front or the back of escape for that matter, and maybe a bomb or two to make things a little bit nicer to Death Warp. We could in fact see a complete. I mean, we talk about rushing Aga. We literally could rush for Aga. I don't actually know if I've seen that in a tournament race yet. It is kind of meme, like at least on that side, but it is possible. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but it's like a theory thing, right? Because there's no reason to just fully go Dark Aga with a Master Sword without knowing that you even need it. Like, this is not something you
right. I mean,
in a fun race, maybe.
Yeah, well, exactly. No, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? Like, you have the entirety of Light World. Like, chances are your Dark World access, gloves, pearl, hammer, maybe another glove. I mean, it could just all be sitting here at Kakariko for all we know, And so, like, yes, it is certainly very aggressive. I don't know, and for this particular league tournament formatting, right? It's not like it's a best of 3 series. It's not like there's any elimination. You're literally just playing. Every match is independent, right? You always get 2 full matches, so there's not necessarily a need to, let's say, like make a play. Maybe towards the end of the season, if you think you're trying to make playoffs, you need some wins. But at least this early, I think everyone is pretty set to just play their game, right?
So the teams know now who they're playing, and they already had a couple of races. So you're now getting into a position where you maybe see a couple of other teams where you think, okay, this is going to be a harder or easier match, potentially. So you kind of make the math already, right? Because you can't just go in week 6 like, hey guys, by the way, we have to win both of the races, and also be tracked on another race that has to go in our favor or something like that. And it's like too late. You have to go earlier than that and find out how to make points.
I like how you use week 6 as your example, Ravis, because isn't week 6 CrossKeese? Aren't you setting that one out? Yeah. I'm just saying, like, as team captain, is that your directive towards Kermit and 2C?
We know 2C's gonna run.
I can't wait. 1 million channel points reduction for CrossKeese Ravis. All right, I'm looking forward to this. All right. So in terms of actual escape stuff, we have no Y items so far, but we have a single arrow. Maybe if we get a bow, we could use it. Until then,
we could use it for the key red.
Yes. Assuming your aim is actually true, like you really actually literally get one shot if we can get the bow.
But
well,
you know, if you hit the shot, like it blesses your luck, right? The seed gives you all the items for it to do it. Like
yes, that's true.
You're getting tested there.
Yes.
Okay, it's just
it is sadly not the map. Okay, so like, at least in this case, nobody has to worry. We are going to open up the sanctuary chest. You know, there's always going to be that extra. You know, if you were counting items and you have not seen the map by the time you finish with the back of escape, you don't have to open sank chests. It's not everybody does that. I know that it is a nice couple second time save. The only real thing is like if you start a sanctuary again, sometimes you're gonna be like, oh no, did I forget to open that chest? If you hadn't already, just kind of like a muscle memory type of thing. Alright, what do we have here? Single rupee?
Ooh, okay, we take
hammer. Okay. At least we know that the hammer cannot be on Zora today. I mean, I'm looking at the money count, right? Okay, we did, of course, get at least pre-race confirmation from Kermit that Zora will be a location that he will most likely not check on his side. We will. I guess I don't know if we're gonna see it on Brief's side. But it is going to be like I'm watching like the rupee counter here, and it certainly looks very encouraging.
Yeah, even better now. I mean, so there are reasons to maybe go South Shore first, or even Eastern since it's dependent. But I assume, at least for Brief's side, that he wants to wait and maybe get another 300 somewhere.
Oh man, 300 are we waiting? Well, certainly I think it would probably at least like something a bit closer in terms of like the margin to 500 rupees, right? I mean, 420 something, especially without a glove, you are kind of at that point banking on the dam, and Moldor, maybe Ice Rod Cave. I mean, if you're truly desperate, we're gonna go to Hobo, that type of situation. But I certainly understand, like, if you want to try and get a little bit more money. True to Kermit's word. Are you ready? I'm so excited for this. Like, everything is coming true as if the prophecy has been foretold.
All right, we get more arrows.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, we also got a little
no lumberjack check. Let's see if Brief gets some good information.
Okay, all right. First, oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh no! Okay, all right, okay. Well, the hope that the copium is still very well, it has skyrocketed since we checked lumberjack. However, it is it's still we still have lots of game to play. A swamp could be a pendant. We don't have a dark road map check yet. And so we could still see a non-mirror required seat. Okay, just say.
Yeah, I mean, besides from that, right, the mirror could simply be required to get on the mountain, and at some point, you run out of locations. Maybe find some other important stuff that the other runner looks behind that mirror, for example. Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, right. Yes, and you are absolutely correct. Right. So I mean, like the mirror, it's every major item that's technically not, let's say, like hard required to beat a seat, right? So like mitts, for example, hard required to beat every seat. Hammer, hard required, right? So. Oh, that's a nice ice rod. And a lamp.
Well, so the thing is, if you have known a bit of League's history, Kermit's actually first race was kind of like that. So he did the Eastern Big Key Chest skip that we know, right? And it was the mirror, and it ended up desert being a crystal and swamp actually being a pendant. And turns out they needed one medallion, and like Kermit still needed desert access. So they found the medallion in the back of Thieves Town, and in the very next chest was like book, and Kermit like avoided the mirror like that.
Wow,
yeah, it was like very crazy. But anyway, so CAC already giving us the AGA access, and Brief's probably gonna do it rather early.
Yeah, I was actually just wondering that too, right? Because certainly, oh my gosh, we have a hook shot too. All right, so suddenly we don't need the mirror anymore for mountain access. Right?
Well, we still need a glove, right?
Oh, so. Right. But I'm saying like once we get up there, right? Either with a flute or a glove. But I mean, like we don't need that mirror to get to Hera. We could, on Kermit's side, go a long way. So at least again, we have lots of hope. Maybe a little copium dash in there, that Kermit, at least for the time being, we don't need that mirror, at least not for the light world stuff.
One thing that we also don't have to forget about, like, we're talking about items, right? But also, desert is a crystal. It's also a red crystal. To enter desert, we either need the book or the flute and the mirror in the midst.
True.
So with that mirror up there, that could be a race deciding factor in it of itself. Just giving desert access at some point to breathe, while Kermit just doesn't know about the mirror itself. But there's the cape, right? Looks even further like Aga.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I would certainly not be. I guess, okay, surprise is not the right word, but I mean, like, I would think it'd be very reasonable. Even Kermit does not know that the mirror is there. I mean, look at our item layout so far, right? We've got the cape, we got the lamp, we got Master Sword coming out of your house, no less. So Aga seems to be, pretty on the plate. Maybe Kermit will just do Aga and then just go and get Lumberjack blind.
Was that flute?
Was that flute?
Flute.
Well, Kermit's certainly gonna go get it. We're gonna get another look on Bree's here, Bree's side. It is definitely the flute. Okay, well.
So yeah, there's already like a lot of stuff that you can do with a mirror as well.
Oh man, this seems a little a little bit more tedious in terms of traversal, because I think we did get the shovel in Kakariko, so I'm sure like what Bree and Kermit wanted to go do was check the maze race, check library, and then run to go do the dig spot. Now because we have the flute, we're gonna run back to Kakariko, and I guess. Are we checking shovel at this point, Regus?
No, I think what if Brief is thinking ahead, he's probably gonna do the flute. Maybe does something like the South Shore. Like he wants to have a good save and quit point, get the mirror early, and then he has like an easier mountain routing. Like you can do the Herald stuff first, or even delay that and can go from Paradox Cave to Spiral Cave. While Kermit, who doesn't have the mirror, has to go over to Hera and then go back to Spiral Cave. So if that is on Brief's mind, that would mean you commit to Aga early, but I can see that be the play here, in all honesty. And, if Swamp is a crystal, you're right anyway, and one crystal's out. You can even make a point to go Saha to see what's Green Pendant, and if it's not like Swamp, then you have an even higher chance of this mirror simply being required. Yeah, we're gonna see the shovel check first on Kermit's side at least.
Okay, this is actually very interesting. I mean, and I think for maybe for all the things that Kermit has already said he's not gonna go do, like there are probably very few things that he wants to go, he is able to kind of do. But yeah, we're gonna get the shovel check to be a little bit more thorough. Breathe, at least try to do the dam with the hook shot. Not quite there yet. Bombs are not unwelcome, I would say at this point. Kermit
didn't get the other tree pole, so he was kind of low on bombs. So. A nice one for him there. Oh no! Breathe.
It's okay.
No, you can't do it the vanilla way. No, don't do it vanilla. You keep doing that because not that I'm a fan of that. No, because it takes you away your confidence. You don't want to get triggered like that early on.
Yeah, you're right. Well, Brave is certainly has been making up time. I've seen multiple chest turns on his side, so obviously we're saving the frames here. We are also picking up a Berta, so that does put Spike Cave eventually in logic. I mean, in terms of actual items. Oh, right, that's also true too. Actually, also, yes, very interesting then that we picked up Berta. It does make Spike Cave a little bit easier traversal. Like we can actually get through the whole thing with only just one bar of magic, whereas with the cape you need just a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I was thinking about if you remember the prize pack, but you didn't even care. After seeing the ferry, you know that the full magic is coming.
Well, we have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's okay. Okay, Ravis, you can close your eyes while Brief goes and you know what? Brief also is not taking Zora and doing the flipper checks right now. We are going straight up the mountain. Kermit is going to ice rock. Oh my gosh, dude, it's so fun. I don't know how anxiety-inducing this is for you, Ravis, because you might be slightly more invested in this race, but it is really very interesting from comparing Kermit versus Brief in the terms of
So I definitely, even if he goes to Fake Flipper, I definitely expect a Zora skip because you know why? It's modern magic! That's what he's gonna say.
Spot on impression, by the way. I absolutely approve. That's exactly how Kermit sounds. 300, by the way, on only. I know. Again, for full disclosure, money. Here. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's very true.
Dangerous. All right, we see.
Really past the.
It's 20 rupees. All right.
All right. Yeah, it looks like no hobo check, at least for Kermit, because surely it's because it's non-logic, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is also not in logic,
Guys,
but
there's
even
so much.
oh my god.
Okay. We're suddenly one pearl away from Dark World access. Are also right. We're checking the ledge. Even
Oh
though
my
Kermit
god,
has...
that's
Oh,
the
we
other
have it.
one.
There it is. All right. So that's our mitts and hammer.
What? We're
Dude,
gonna...
what is it?
No, of course. No.
All right. See, I think you remember that.
I think that was an intentional bait. No, that was an intentional bait. I call it. He really made me believe.
Yeah, I think he made the rest of us believe as well. So this might be Hobo then. If we're actually gonna walk out of Zora area, or sorry, run out, dash out. But yeah, we're just looking for that pearl at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, for what it's worth, if the pearl happens to be on Zora, all right, there is no possible way that Kermit can avoid it. All right.
I think he might find the mirror even before that.
The best case scenario, is that if something is like the pearls on Zora, or there is a bottle that we probably won't get. That probably the first get. But I was gonna say, like, if you're gonna last locate something, last locate something, try and do it early. Getting your dark world progression or access is much better than going on the proverbial or traditional ice rock hunt that we have for casual.
Oh, and I see what Breve is doing. Okay, so he's still going the spiral cave route, waiting with Hera, and probably save and quit here. Does Aga get the mirror and then go up the mountain? Okay, that also makes sense.
We have not gotten a Dark World map check, correct?
No one was on the Dark World yet.
Right. Yeah, and also without the mirror, we can't really get back. So I was actually a bit curious to know if he was interested in, let's say, doing a Dark World map check. Would you still rush Aga and try to get the mirror if Swamp was a pendant? Like, Kermit, please don't die.
See, and this is something Breve is not gonna do. Like, okay, Breve doesn't get the item, which Kermit is gonna check now in Spectacle Rock Cave, and also on Spectacle Rock Cave. But there's nothing gonna be there of... Oh, what's that?
No, it looked like a red rupee. It did not look like anything exciting.
Okay. But yeah, Breve is gonna wait for the mirror and then do Hera with it. So Kermit at some point has to go up again there. Because what we also know, even if he gets the mids here and maybe finds something interesting in Super Bunny Cave, it's not gonna be the mirror.
True. Oh, ooh, Super Bunny. Is that on the table?
I don't think so. Because really, I mean, even Kermit knows, like, he wants to use boots in there and stuff. Like, you want a hook clip. You're just looking for that moon pearl, so why go there? And when you consider even Hookshot Cave as an alternative as the well there, it doesn't just make sense to just go there from his perspective.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, Super Bunny in itself without the pearl, like, yes, like, that's the whole reason why he's called Super Bunny Cave, is it's like you don't actually need the pearl in order to check those two chests. You can get Super Bunny State, but in terms of routing consequence, like, it is really... it can certainly lead to very, very divergent paths, and not to mention some pretty unforeseen circumstances, depending on whether or not you try for it.
I have to correct myself a little bit. So Kermit is obviously going to do Hera now, but the difference is going to be Breve can do Spike Cave potentially after that if he gets the Moon Pearl.
Yes, it is very important that we do have the Pearl. We cannot money our way into anything, no mirror, whatever. Like, yeah, it's pretty important.
It's a bottle on Floating Island, which we have to keep track on just in case that is going to be a thing.
Man, that's quite the path, by the way. Like, we certainly need a Pearl. I cannot imagine that's the one bottle that's going to unlock Sickit for us, but I guess you never know,
Ooh, and Breve only doing interesting. Breve is going only for the hobo check. Not having the Moon Pearl, he can't just fake flipper again. So he's not gonna get his mitts for now. And he's also going to leave open Zora for now.
Yeah, well, it seems so. We definitely need those flippers, at least logically speaking. We don't know again for Swamp Palace whether or not it is a crystal or pendant, or if anything's in there. But as far as Breve knows, I think that he's just done everything that is in logic, right? Like, I mean, all of the flipper, like, well, I guess maybe not Zora, but like the waterfall stuff, like, it has you know, like we still kind of need flippers in order to do stuff like that. So maybe they just think that, well, I also want the mirror. More likely than not, it's going to be, you know, if not required, very handy in terms of efficiency. So I'm going to get some of the AGA time back regardless. So, you know, let's just go.
Yeah. See, I think we found only one item here.
All I saw was the shield. Correct. Yeah, so I think it was big key in basement cage, and I assume it was small key in map chest, and then...
No, I think that was a compass.
Oh, a compass? Okay.
The small key was below the big chest.
Oh, okay, okay. Alright, yeah, so Brief's gonna make his way up Castle Tower. Kermit is battling Moldorm. It's a game of attrition. Whoever, you know, takes longest in terms of staring contest wins. Looks like Kermit is victorious.
Alright, that's the second item. Where's that moon pearl? Is that in the eastern area? I mean, it could just be on the...
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Yes. We have actually not been able to Pendant Eastern. It is a location that very few people like to go, intentionally or not. It is more, I don't know, I mean, again, this might be observational bias, but Pendant Eastern especially does seem to be a location that is certainly on the lower priority tales of many people.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could even make the argument to say that after doing AGA, you just, you know, well, in Bree's position maybe, with a mirror in hand, you can do both things. But on the other hand, we have the flute, so I don't know, it's not a big check, but for that moon pearl, probably. If the pyramid has nothing, I think we're gonna see that soon.
Oh yeah. All right, we almost got there. We attempted the hook speed into AGA, right? And so, I mean, again, like one of the probably the worst feelings is, you know, you're maybe not quite sure if AGA is required, and then, you know, if it isn't, you know, you really hope that the number of blue balls isn't that high. I mean, I think in Brief's case, it's not going to be too big of a deal, you know, just because, you know, again, we see the mirror on Lumberjack, so.
We have two different scenarios, right? Kermit is trying to delay AGA as far as possible because he thinks he only needs the moon pearl to avoid it. While Brief is thinking, okay, I get the mirror, and there's the moon pearl, by the way, in Saha. So Kermit might think he has won this battle, but we're gonna see soon in the Dark World what Swamp, for example, is. Alright, Kermit's gonna check out the Maya area first. See, and if he had known about the mirror now, he could have done desert as well with the red crystal.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And all right,
yep. All right, looks like that mirror is 100% required. And you know, again, on Brief's side, it's not going to be, you know, like it's more often than not, it's probably going to be, you know, at worst going to be a wash, right? You're going to get the mirror as a prize. In this particular case, it is definitely required. I mean, for what it's worth, like Kermit might get bottlenecked honestly into AGA, you know, so.
Well, the question is, what is he going to find on the way, right? Because the problem for him is he can, like, probably dip Maya right now, which he would probably do before.
Maya's a pendant. Are we going in?
Are you asking?
Did you? How are you sitting down? Just out of curiosity, how's the chair? Is it sturdy?
I don't know what's going on there. We have autologic mids. We need the flippers. Let's see. It's gonna be.
The logic is also very interesting, and yes,
not flippers in here at least. That's what we know.
Oh yes, and Sleepy, to answer your question, so the mirror is indeed on Lumberjack. We actually had some pre-race intel by Kermit to give, you know, at least to us commentators, that there are going to be specific things that he will not check in his race, and one of them was Lumberjack. So Kermit does not know about the mirror on Lumberjack.
Not even the Master Thought in Link's house could, you know, change his mind.
It is quite the adventure, which is why, you know, my brain certainly did check it after escape, and then this is why they're getting their mirror basically immediately. All right, but here we are though. I mean, like, if Kermit can find something pretty useful in here, I mean, again, this could actually be very, very big for Kermit, just because Pendant Mire, especially, probably not going to be one of those locations that you're going to be willing to dip. As you mentioned, once in this case we get our mitts, potentially from Waterfall, you know, Desert is a fully clearable crystal, and that's pretty appealing, you know, over a Pendant Dungeon. Yeah, not to mention, right, Kermit has, and soon to be Brave, they're gonna have over, what, they're getting pretty close to that 2,000 mark for a rookie, so Zora can certainly be, I would say, you know, on the table for them.
Yeah, at some point, you know, Kermit has to make a decision. To whether he goes like back to Zora.
I think Kermit has made many decisions, you know.
Like,
yes, but it might be.
We already know, right? He has to at least come back to Lumberjack somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, he either has to check Lumberjack or Zora or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting to see what he's gonna choose. And we found both items in Mire.
Okay, sounds good. All right, okay, so that is something that we do not need to have to. At least it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the cutscene chest, so you know, the time to explore Mire is pretty minimized.
We're doing Spike. You don't have oh wait, we do East Death Mountain. That makes sense. Dark Death East Mountain. Yeah. And with the Mire medallion, does he have enough magic? I think he does have enough magic for another. Yeah, another.
Oh, you mean for Turtle Rock? Yeah, it looks like 2 bars worth, or two whatever decanters worth of magic. So. Oh well.
I think
Okay,
he
so
only used the fire rod, right? So if he used only the fire rod and the medallion, then he should have two more shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess my
question if you remember, did he use the cave or something? I don't think so, right? Like in the spike room or something?
No, I'm just trying to. I don't know. I didn't think
whatever.
so.
Okay.
But I guess like from this, I assume that he's gonna go in if he can get into Turtle Rock. Like he's opening it up here, so. And we I guess you know, we can only open this. Okay, well it is Bombos. We have exactly the amount of magic that we need. Good planning on Kermit's side.
I feel like Kermit is gonna get all his items in the next 7 minutes, and then it's only like, when do you check Lumberjack, dude? When do you check Lumberjack?
For what it's worth, we still need the flippers in order to get into Swamp. So I mean, he's not, you know, out of the water quite yet, or into the water, I guess, for that matter.
Damn. Yeah.
Yes, he has. Oh no,
I think he's gonna do all the mountain right now, and it's gonna be interesting to see what he's gonna do next. In the meanwhile, yeah, he's gonna get his Moon Pearl now. I assume it just goes to my area as well. Gets his Bombos, Dust Desert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks like the brief is going to Saha. Are we gonna go into Eastern?
No. He gets his backward access here and goes. Oh wait, he doesn't have the mitts, but he goes Hype Cave next with a mirror in hand, easy checks.
Oh yeah, that's also true. Yeah, we do actually have full Darkwood access. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's see what Kermit gets.
Yeah. Are you going in, Ravis? Are you going in?
I know what he's gonna do. Like I expect him to go in. Like, oh, if it's okay, let's go.
This is by the way, a really good lesson. I mean, you know, again, like the way that Kermit has planned this, like because he has no mirror. I mean, we all know where it is, but like he definitely went up the Turtle Rock version. You know, open up Dark World and Turtle Rock. So then, if he did have the opportunity to open up the dungeon itself with the medallion, he can do that. Versus like if you just kind of, you know, maybe muscle memory your way into going to Dark World via Super Bunny Cave, you have no more opportunity in order to do that, and it's quite expensive to come back, especially with no mirror, in order to go, you know, just to enter Turtle Rock. So, you know, for what Kermit wanted to do, he's very efficient about it.
Yeah, I mean, Brief has, you know, at some point a decision to make, right? Okay, we're going Skullwoods first, but how much do we do of Skullwoods, right? We know the mitts are not going to be here.
Oh, it's a pain too, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, coming back this way is a long way. Like, sure, you have the flute, but, you know, will you do Mothula now for Green Pendant or not? Or do you just check for the items?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's a good point. I mean, right, as you mentioned, we do have the Kakariko portal available to us, but you know, we don't have myths, so you have to kind of go all the long way around, and it's really, you know, ideally you would only do it once.
Oh my god.
That. See, Ravis, you gotta just trust in Kermit. You know, like he is doing such good things. He found a bow in
he would win
rock.
so many races if he just do some basic stuff. Like he finds the items, but like he forgets to check the easy items, quote unquote. Like the most obvious ones. And
I mean, clearly, like, he's doing something right this seed because he literally just pulled out a bow here in Turtle Rock, and he hasn't gotten locked out yet. So, I mean, again, like, this is going to be a clearable pod for him. I guess decision as to whether or not he wants to do Eastern is kind of up to him. We don't have a mirror to conveniently get back, so my guess is going to be just pod.
Yeah, and I mean, we have two things that we are now looking for, right? We need a midsless, like a non-midslock flippers. Oof, that's a rough one. And also we need the ice rod. That's it for no mode.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We do need that. We do need that very lucrative. Well, missing, you know, MIA ice rod. Looks like Kermit was kind of, I don't know, from his gameplay, it looked like he was maybe debating on whether or not he wanted to go, but ultimately decided he wants to keep going. But then the chomps kind of got the better of him, and I guess we're going to continue. So very interesting.
Yeah, it looks like so if we look at all the items that are out there, if Kermit finds everything and gets mirror go mode, basically, at least he can avoid like going to swamp and also do the red bomb. Which, you know, if Bree finds the flippers here in Thieves Down, for example, which again these flippers cannot be mid-slot, then you know we might check a lot more things on the way. So. We're gonna see. One check Kermit definitely cannot do here is gonna be Mimic Cave, and if that turns out to be the ice rod, then
we've already spiked our copium pretty early in the season, so surely it will not happen again. Kermit also needs to not die before he checks this chest.
Yeah.
Well, that bow definitely is very interesting.
Yeah, that makes you feel that the bow might actually. Be required for something. Potentially the ice rod. I mean, that's the only thing that we are pretty much looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
But logically, it could be like silvers in pod.
Well, right, right. And you bring up a very good point. You know, certainly there are two bows out there. Bows are progressive, and there have been many a race where, you know, the other person finds like the bowlock bow or something, right, or another, you know, like the silvers version. So then maybe this trip wasn't strictly required, but I mean, you certainly feel very good about doing it.
It's gonna be interesting to see where the flippers actually are, because they have to come rather soon.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, Kermit obviously knows that he cannot find the flippers here. Like, he's hopefully keeping track of the logic, but I think it's more like, okay, I'm here, I found the bow, you know what? If the ice rod is here, then I'm pretty much, well, potentially the mirror as well for him, but yeah. It is a fair dip to do. Yeah, and the fact that, I mean, we unless the ice rod is actually here on this road, which, by the way, still has, you know, it's a non-trivial chance that the ice rod is just sitting on Laser Bridge. But, you know, assuming that it's not, Kermit does have to, you know, come basically, you know, back through Turtle Rock twice. Now, that being said, though, Laser Bridge does have a good number of items, potentially, and so this very well also just could be, you know, logically required as well. Good use of the cape, by the way. Trying to save a little bit of his health and magic, or not necessarily magic, but yes, not taking any damage. He's certainly doing all he needs to do to prepare, you know, for the Trinex fight. He is on blue mail, but the health situation may not be the safest. There's also one check Kermit still cannot do, is the Sickhead check, and we know the bottle is, well, at least for brief, at the moment he gets the mids, is accessible. True.
Surely, these would just be a bottle here on Laser Bridge, right? We're getting there. We're getting there. There's one more small key, and then... So slight delay. Everything's fine. Oh my god, dude.
When he gets a key.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, alright, okay, we made it. We're taking the safety door. Kermit.
Alright, Turtle Rock depth is over, but you got a bow. And I assume he's gonna go pod in Eastern right now. I assume he's gonna follow that.
Or at least pod, right?
Yeah, he wants to maybe see even if the flippers are maybe in pod, and he made like a big play here. Oh, just go Hype Cave, whatever.
Well, I mean, we can do Hype Cave into Pyramid into pod. Certainly nothing, you know, not unreasonable.
Yeah.
I don't know if
although
Kermit's a pyramid checker.
No, I don't think he wants to do that. I think he wants to wait for potentially a swamp access and then, get it done, do the red bomb, and then check the pyramid.
Okay, okay.
Which,
fair.
again, the moment we find Flipper is possible.
True. Alright, so Brief, by the way, finished up the East Town. We did get a temper sword out of that, but nothing, I believe that was they're going to be helpful in terms of progression. No Ice Rod, well, no Myth certainly for Brief, no Flippers. That temper sword definitely is, you will never complain. You know what, yeah, we have one Hype Cave as well, so never mind.
So we're ending on butter today on both sides, pretty sure.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Hype Cave is a very common check for people. So
wait, how many items did Brief get out of Skull Woods? He just did the front.
I think just one, right? All I saw was the map chest, and that was a heart piece. So I think they just left.
Oh, okay.
You chat can correct me if I'm wrong though, because that is all I saw.
But yeah, Kermit now in Crystal Pod. I mean, makes sense. You want to full clear it. There's still an Ice Rod chance. And
you think Kermit can afford the
like
entry
a
fee?
Flipper chance? Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think Kermit can afford the entry fee? Of Pod?
I think
110 rupees? Okay, alright. Well, I mean, math is not my forte, so I'm just kind of looking at the 4-digit rupee counter.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, can do it.
Perfect. Kiki has not yelled at us.
Though.
Yeah,
Is
just
it
vanilla? Just
All right.
vanilla? Again, I mean, so you mentioned this very, very early on, right? So yes, like we do see that the mirror is hard required for completion of the seed into Swamp Palace, but everything else that Brief is doing that the mirror locks, for example, Graveyard Ledge, K45, but we don't know anything about Graveyard Ledge yet, but I mean, like, these other things, if it doesn't yield anything, it is time that Brief cannot get back. Versus, that is going to be time in Kermit's pocket if, Kermit gets, like, something like, Mirror Go mode or something like that.
Yeah, assuming like that. Or, like, even if the Ice Rod is locked by the mirror, right? If Kermit gets there just fast enough to, avoid some things.
Exactly.
But then again, if it's not the case, you can argue that, you recheck all those things and that costs even more time. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
right.
We're gonna see. We need the information about the Flippers and the Ice Rods. That's... But it looks like for now, the front end pod seems pretty fair from the keys.
Yeah, I didn't actually catch what was in Shooter Room, but...
It was
I'm
key. We didn't do the blow lock side yet.
Okay.
Got key and key, so...
Alright, so Brief has finished up their traversal to Hype Cave. Oh, I totally forgot this. We probably already had a pyramid check, at least on Brief's side, because they did Aga. I totally forgot. Kermit is the one who has not done that yet. Yes. Ooh, are we
going
to...
north road? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, definitely not isolating Graveyard Ledge. I mean, this is good on Brief's side. Make sure that in this case we can get King's Tomb, we can get Graveyard Ledge, so we don't have to necessarily worry about isolating these locations.
Yeah, I don't know if Kermit did he ever do King's Tomb already?
I don't think so, because they haven't. Kermit hasn't been over here yet, right?
Yeah, he had some 7 crit chances for sure. Well,
right.
whatever.
Just just a heart piece. Yeah, but I think like the big moment though is the check that's coming up on Brief's side, which is Graveyard Ledge, because again, this is despite this being mirror locked, I mean this is also one of the worst locations to check for anybody in general. So if something is here, it's going to be quite good for Brave. If not, again, it's not. Brave has done this very efficiently, but it's still going to be kind of like time again.
Well, interestingly enough here. Bow is not bow locked at all. We had a map and a small key.
Oh,
it
for
makes
sure.
basically only the boss bow locked.
Oh, so you're saying that Brief could actually come into pod and
Yeah,
then just basically get all the items.
The Zora area and stuff. I mean, there's still, he still has the flute and can just flute to 8 and do it. But people, tend to stay in logic rather than sometimes at least than full clear overworld maybe before. We're gonna go back here.
Oh, we're going to Catfish, it looks like. Nice turn jump. Yeah, very well done.
And there's the
we find an Ice Rod.
So you either double dip TR for now.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, it definitely looked like that Turtle Rock dip, at least for the front, was required. I mean, Kermit obviously didn't have to go all the way to the end to Laser Bridge, but it certainly looked like the play to go to Dark Death Mountain and going into Turtle Rock was very good for Kermit. Oh, we have the mushroom too. I told him, man. See, Brave is totally on top of these things. Their route in North Dark World, or / North Kakariko, or whatever Light World, is very efficient. It hasn't yielded anything so far, but the way that they're doing it is quite good. They're not gonna have any holes in their route. Okay, Ravis, if you're Kermit and you get out the ice route, are you going straight back up to Turtle Rock? Do you know? Man, do we have a? Yeah, do we have an item? I can't remember if there's an item on Trinex. That would probably be the only tempting part, because if we gotten everything else out of it, we don't have to do it until the very end of the game.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer.
I think Kermit is just.
But what I do know is, I mean, Kermit still should know that. Oh, breathe. Okay, no. We're getting some.
So, okay. Do you think Zora has flippers? This is probably the best case scenario.
It's not like we have too much open.
Yeah, true.
But
yeah, what's logically left? I guess Spike Cave.
Green Pendant, for sure.
Green Pendant.
Eastern. At least besides the boss.
Yeah, if Brief gets the flippers here, I mean, we don't know what's on Zora because Kermit decided to exit this location early. But if the flippers are here, which is not, I was gonna say those myths are very much in Brief's near future. However, we are still flipperless, so the myths in Waterfall Fairy is gonna elude Brief a little bit longer.
So, alright, we're going to Spike Cave on Brief's side, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Maybe Spike Cave is a one-off.
So, interestingly enough, Spike Cave is not in logic yet, because we need still a magic extension somehow. If I recall correctly.
Can you get the bottle? From...
No, it wasn't.
Oh, no, you're right. It was on. You're right. You're right.
And the only thing we know, at least, he can find here would be the flippers, but there could just be obviously half magic or a bottle out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a small desperation check in my eye. Oh, it is the flippers!
Oh my gosh! Well, are we going back to Zora? Are we going back to Waterfall like right now?
Okay,
no, we're going to Swamp. We're going to Swamp, right? I assume.
I think Brief is gonna go to Swamp. Oh, that is. I think that can be very unlucky for him because he's gonna make the decision to either, skip left side, knowing that he doesn't have mids because we know where the mids are, or he's going back to that and that we know that there's gonna be nothing. But I think the flippers there is good for Kermit at least, because whatever
you think Kermit's gonna go there?
I think Kermit is gonna go there before doing the lumberjack check, and that would mean basically because he knows the mids are not the flippers are not mids locked, right? So
yeah, that's true.
The flippers are gonna go out really fast, and then it's gonna be like an ice palace, and maybe even he's gonna go to TR and finish that. But it's not gonna be a full clear swamp. It's not gonna be a red bomb.
Oh yeah, that's actually I think a good point. Right. So just kind of looking at so assuming Kermit at some point goes to do Spike Cave, as you are postulating, and then we get the flippers, and then it's basically gonna be mere go mode for Kermit. I mean, this actually could be quite good. In terms of dungeon traversal versus Breathe. Looks like they are, for all intents and purposes, going to be in, Mitsuko mode? Maybe Mitsuko mode? Maybe Bogo mode.
Well, if there's not a second bow in here, then probably...
Yeah.
Not even Mits. I think we're gonna see... Well, doesn't matter. But,
no, we don't need it.
But, no, I think he has still an ice rod to get from Pod, and I don't think... Bow here. We're gonna see the water checks before going to Pot and Eastern.
Yeah, but so I think assuming Kermit can find his way to do Aga and Lumberjack, and get the mirror, his go mode path is actually very, very good. Brave has to probably make a bit more of, I guess, maybe more limited decisions in terms of because the scope of the items they're getting, it's going to be a lot.
In Breeve's hand, okay, when does he get the myth? I could see him going desert before, and if it's if you get like both items on desert right side and an early big key, you know, maybe Brief is gonna check more in that. We know Kermit is gonna probably going with Swamp at this point. We know there's not gonna be any mirror checks for Kermit, but Kermit also has his flaws, right? He might go back to Turtle Rock for if there's an item on Trinex, which I don't know right now. And like there are some things he still has to do. He still has to do Aga at some point. So, you know, there's still some things both runners have to do, and it's more in Brief's direction, or to like, it's more on Brief's side to check less, I would say, because like Kermit can't get the mirror.
So you are certainly, I believe your assessment is correct in that probably Brief, at least even from start to finish, has done more of, well, necessarily traditional, but something, you know, everything's kind of within the realm of expectation, right? In terms of you're just playing a seed, you're playing, and yes, like, based on a lot of what, yeah, his future, like, yes, yeah, Kermit, now for what it's worth, also was within expectations because he had told us this stuff ahead of time before the race. However, his path to go mode is quite high, is much higher variance. So, but that's exactly kind of what you want to see. Maybe if you weren't one of these guys' teammates, then you know you might be enjoying the excitement of the race more so. Alright, but looks like Brief is at least temporarily skipping out on left side swamp. No indication as to whether or not they're going to go back in. I remember seeing the map in the compass chest, and I think there's still a big key outstanding. So at least one item
the compass was found in the waterfall chest.
Oh, okay, so we actually, okay, so at least 2 items are remaining. Probably 3 then in that case, if we haven't seen the big key yet either. Brief. I have gold sword. I don't need the rods. Okay, well there's the big key. Okay, yeah. 3 items. Are you going back?
I think so, because he doesn't have mitts.
Right. Yeah, we've seen mitts on left side swamp many a time before. I mean, certainly it's not going to happen in this particular case. It is flipper locked, but it happens to be in this case waterfall, which. Right. Brief. So typically speaking, casual boot seed, like a very commonly seen route is you go to South Shore, Mini Moldorm, into Ice Rod Cave, and you water walk to Waterfall Ferry and Zora. Especially in this particular seed because there was like just money flowing, you know, even since the very beginning. Brief took a slight detour from that route after Mini Moldorm Cave, decided to go up the mountain because that's where our access was, and so kind of as that sequencing. I guess Fake Flipper probably wasn't the cards for them, and so yeah, this is kind of why Waterfall was so delayed for them.
Yeah, surprisingly. I mean, most people.
Yeah, it's definitely not common.
Area because it's just more checks, but
yeah,
Brief decided otherwise, which is fair. But this time, you know, the mitts are just waiting for him there. And once he gets the mitts, like it's easier for him to do what he has to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's definitely true. And you know, and again, like you can't control where the item placements are, right? I mean, you're just playing a rando seed, right? You don't know where they're initially going to be placed by the seed generator, and so it's kind of up to you to decide what you want to spend your time invested in, right? Brief in this case decided that early mountain play was good, and then we actually saw some very nice efficiency doing all of like North and Light Dark World. It just happens to be when you go mirror from Catfish, you don't have the flippers. Waterfall tends to get a bit more isolated.
Okay, so I don't know if Kermit told us before the race that he's not gonna do the Smith chain, right?
So this could be a time save again for Kermit.
So the thing is, the only thing he looks behind the mitts is the mirror. He knows again his flippers is not mitts locked.
It's true.
So I don't know if that changes his mind somehow. It looks like we're gonna do hammer packs at least.
Okay.
At least we have the hammer out.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, we're here, right? So, and it's not. I mean, some people can say this is part of the Smith chain, but you know, it's still.
It kind of is. Come on, I mean, it kind of is. It definitely kind of is. Specifically, if you have the mirror.
Well, we don't need the mirror in this case to actually go out. Okay, so this is by the way, looks like going to be Brief's pickup for their mitts.
Wait, did he do digging game? in this stuff?
Breve did dig game. Kermit has not been down there yet. Like,
maybe
we haven't
we
left
digging
yet.
game and pick up the Smith. Okay, so Breve got his mitts. What is he gonna do with the mitts? Are we gonna go desert first? Is the question.
Desert looks like a very good play for Breve. As you mentioned, it's the other 5/6 crystal, right? We have, we have now with the Mist, we have desert access, and so very highly reasonable that we're gonna do desert and then go do Pyramid Fairy. We can also do Ice Palace now with those mitts. Yeah, and depending on where the items are, well, certainly, well, I guess I don't know. Breve might full clear. Maybe go to Ice Tea. I don't know what Kermit feels like in terms of skipping out on things. We now have Mire access. We did see Kermit dip in this very early on his side. Breve might be tempted to go in. I don't know. After desert.
I think Breve has a somewhat difficult decision to make. He either has to, wants to go ice without the cane, which doesn't sound that good, or he wants to go up the mountain. And if he goes up the mountain,
have Gata Samaria yet. Yeah, no, that's a great point.
And then it's the next decision: do you dip Turtle Rock? If yes, you get the bow. You're most likely, after at least going out of Turtle Rock, you're most likely to go pot. But he also has to make the decision then to go out, actually. But he could still go deeper into TR, which would be just a simple time loss.
Yes, and we kind of already saw that Kermit, based on Kermit's traversal of Turtle Rock, we only needed to do Roller Room, which is like the front. I think it was also very reasonable for Kermit to do all the way to go to Laser Bridge, because there were a bunch of items there. It just happens to be that they weren't progression. So
we're not even done that with that yet, because the decision to go out of Turtle Rock would be easier if Eastern would be a crystal, right? So I think because of all those complicated decisions he has to make, I think he might full clear desert and do the red bomb in hope he finds either, I don't know, Pain or an Ice Rod before he goes either up the mountain or Ice Rod. So that might be something that is on his mind, because those are difficult decisions to make. Like, if he goes for all the right decisions, I think Breve has this one in the bag. Because Kermit is doing stuff now. He's probably gonna full clear Green Pendant.
Ooh, we have our first bottle out of desert.
Yeah, and that is not even in logic. The second one is on the mountain, so we don't know what with the flipper's logic is, but I think you still need a bottle for that.
I think so, man. We can double check this. I mean, I know for sure you need an item invincibility. You might need a magic extension. I'm trying to actually think too what the exact logic was, because I know that you can do. I think you can do it on Burna and one full bar of magic. Now, that being said, it is really tight, and then like if you only limit items to invincibility, I think it makes sense if you need an extension, because you can't do it with Cape. Oh, okay. Okay. Burna alone plus spiky magic. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Kermit is going back skyward's, right? I think that is something that we're not going to see on Breve's side, because all his things are somewhat on the way. Like, even if he doesn't decide to go to Turtle Rock, which again I don't think he's gonna do. I think he's gonna dip to the rock, and then he gets the bow, and then he gets the Azure. Like, I think we're gonna never see Breve and Skull.
I mean, but you're like, oh, you mean okay, back here? Yes, back here. Most likely, we won't see Breve taking out Skullwoods.
The only thing that could happen is if he goes on the mountain, gets the cane, and leaves Turtle Rock because he has Ice Palace. That's like the only thing that I can see why he might not get the bow early.
Oh my gosh, that. Oh, I mean, maybe, right? I mean, right. So I think a lot of what's gonna happen to Breve is if the second bow from our perspective is going to show up. Like, if a bow does show up before then Breve has even less reason to go up the mountain, right? Because they're just gonna go to pod, and
that would make it. That would.
It would be really, really
like
good.
The bow in Turtle Rock is right now that what keeps Kermit in the race, I would say. Because Breve is gonna get his cane quickly, and if you dip Turtle Rock, and he doesn't have like a lot of things open, like it is reasonable to just go in. He has done Swamp, he has done Desert, he might again do Red Bomb soon. But yeah, all these mirror checks right now are completely waste. So Breve is kind of doing things right now that Kermit will never do, and Kermit is always also doing things that Breve is not gonna do at all time.
Yeah, I'm actually just trying to think, like, was there any mirror lock check for Breve that actually had some item of value? And I want to say the answer is no.
No, there's none. There's the mirror is only for Swamp Palace, or technically if we don't find the
like
boat,
entry, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. You know, you're right. You're right.
I don't think Kermit is gonna do any mirror check unless he finds the mirror before the flippers. But that is the second item skills. Don't you save and quit here? What are you gonna do?
I don't think Kermit has done the front yet. I think they just rushed the back.
Well, he did the first chest, and that was a hard piece.
Oh, okay. Then that's a great question. What does Kermit want to do? Is he running out of Skullwoods?
Is he gonna go to Bumper Cave?
Oh, did he not check it before he came in? I thought you would maybe check that before. Didn't. Okay. I was thinking maybe he would check that before you go to
a long way. I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, you could just flute back to 3 and go to the Dark World portal. If that's
walking out of Skullwoods is definitely an investment. You know, there are reasons why nobody likes to go all the way to the back of Skullwoods and have to basically trudge themselves, you know, back over to the front again.
Look at that. Brief is actually doing the Smith channel. I actually thought he's not gonna do it, but he is. Maybe he knows because Kermit is a
he's gonna skip it.
Like
were these strategic notes shared with the opposing team, Ravis? I'm just curious.
I don't know, but yeah, it was only for Bumper Cave. That was a very long way. I think fluting to 3, like if you check the Skullwoods chest in the back before Mothula, instead of running back, just save and quit, flute to 3 and go back into the Dark World is way faster. But it's okay. Maybe just, you know, wanted to focus and just go ahead.
That's fine. Yeah. And again, like the way that Breve has routed the seed so far, again, it has many points of efficiency. You see basically Breve doing the Smith chain, getting I guess correctly sequencing the powder before all this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Kermit is going for is he going for pedestal?
Was that part of the notes as well?
No, but like he doesn't give away green pendant. So, oh god.
Well, you can do green pendant after Eastern, right? Especially like it's faster, right, to go to Eastern and then to Saha.
But Eastern is a pendant. Like, don't you want to know what Saha has first? Like, if it's the flippers and you get the mirror here in the first chest, you would go out.
I guess. I mean, well, we're gonna say. So I mean, okay. So what does Kermit need from his perspective? He needs flippers and he needs mirror. Right? So maybe he thinks, like, you know, it's worth my time to go through this pendant dungeon because I'm missing 2 items. Yeah, I don't know. It's only speculation.
I think it would be good if the boss here has the map, because if the boss doesn't have the map, then Kermit is definitely going to go through the whole dungeon. Meanwhile, Brief is going to go give us a check in Ice Palace, so he's not going to go in there with the Cane of Samaria. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to decide to check and not, right?
Yeah, right. So okay, so I think there were some brief murmurings before where I don't want to get like the exact numbers wrong, but so if you just clear out Ice Palace, like not full clear, as in just go beat the dungeon, Caneless versus with Cane and like Icebreaker is like maybe like a difference of like 8 to 10 seconds, you know, optimally speaking.
Yeah, but that's like what it was, like 2 checks. Well, how many checks do you do?
Well, right, exactly. But I mean, that's assuming you don't have to go to the right side, right? So the right side, though, with Cane, Samar, and Icebreaker is like, you know, minutes like worth of difference, right? Oh, nice boots, by the way.
Yeah, Bo was in Turtle Rock Roller Room.
Yeah, so that right. So like, it's you know, depending on, you know, how much, like if an item like it's say in Ice Tea, you know, Brevis really, you know, looks like they're interested in full clearing this place, so it could be quite a time difference, you know, because most likely, I mean, if nothing else, Kermit has the cane to come in to go into Ice Palace, right? So it will certainly be a good amount of probably Kermit will clear out the dungeon faster than Breve. Hey, look, it's our bottle. It's our first logical bottle.
Finally.
Oh, yeah,
and
powder.
Funny enough,
I don't remember what was on powder, but it was that's the gift for us.
Yeah. But more importantly, it's this is the magic extension that we were looking for to make Spike Cave and Logic. So I can see Kermit soonish go to Spike Cave. Because again, he knows his flippers aren't mid-locked again.
Yeah, I mean, he is definitely trying to figure out where those flippers are, and right now he is definitely doing stuff that is not mid-locked. So you know, a sphere 0, 1, whatever Eastern, right? Maybe, you know, especially pendant Eastern, maybe not necessarily like the greatest of feelings. If you're here and, you know, you do find something, because again, it's been open to, you know, to you since, let's say, you know, an hour ago. But then again, it kind of looks like also, you know, but then again, like, Kermit hasn't really found anything here either. So I also don't know how good of a feeling it is to full clear out a pendant dungeon that has no value either, so...
Alright, there's gonna be
also a little bit of party here in Armos as well. The good thing we came in with 30 arrows, more than enough ammunition. Oh, we found the ball! Oh my gosh! This is like amazing. I don't know if it's good or bad for Kermit.
That is super bad, obviously. That is omega bad for Kermit.
Yeah, he has access to desert now. Oh my gosh.
Not only that, the desert part isn't the worst thing. The problem is like ether tablets. That is a massive problem.
Oh, okay, you are absolutely correct. He has already done hair, and we have no mirror, so that is actually one of the probably the longest, and probably even longer than like Graveyard Ledge. You know, assuming we have the mirror at this point.
Oh, okay.
We have silvers. Holy. Okay, so that bow.
The original silvers and TR.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean. Jeez. Which bow do you think Bravy's gonna get first? Do you think it's gonna be the Turtle Rock one, or do you think it's gonna be the Green Pendant one?
Yeah, for sure. For
Turtle Rock one?
So the thing is, right, when he goes up the mountain, what good checks does he have? He can go Pendant Eastern. He can go Bowless Pod. Like, of course you're gonna do Turtle Rock then. And you know, you get like 4 guaranteed items from Turtle Rock, maybe 5, and also Mimic Cave. Surely you go into
Oh, you mean you go all the way through? Okay.
Well, at least you go to the bow, and then the next one is a rough decision. I don't know what he's gonna do. Like, when I had the moment in Casual Boots tourney, I went out and I was wrong, and this time you go out and you're right. So I don't know.
It's almost as if these these seeds are independent from each other.
So yeah, let's see. Will Kermit's check the pedestal here? That would certainly be good for him, because I can see him going into Maya for the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, all these things though, you know, as you like,
this is
it is still quite a time investment though. You know, so okay, so
well, better than just randomly go back to Maya, right? Because he has only the boss left. He has all the
true, yeah.
But like, if he didn't check it, like, I can see him doing even that before doing Lumberjack. You know.
First, by the way, speaking of Lumberjack, how close are we gonna get a Lumberjack?
Wrong direction. No. You have to remember, he's not gonna do Lumberjack for ages. So pedestal is gonna be an option at some point. I'm glad he's checking this now. I hope it's not something annoying, but I think we have everything. All right.
Yeah, and this is actually a better use of your time. Like, I mean, okay, like, yes, it's like, what, I don't know, like a minute or something to get this knowledge, but that's probably still better than going all the way to Pendant Vitreous, killing it, and then coming back and blind pulling, or, you know, whatever, right? Yeah.
So if I recall correctly, I might be wrong on this. The only things Kermit right now has to do is Desert here, and then probably, I think he has still Catfish left and Pyramid. But other than that, it's Ether Tablet and Spike Cave.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So
he's
I guess
running out of locations soon. But Breve is gonna get his cane here and probably his bow soon.
As soon as we get past the dead rocks and the boulders, yes, I agree with you that Breve is definitely gonna go get their cane and their and hopefully for their sake their bow. You know, it's. Well, I guess the cane doesn't really open up much, because other than Meyer boss, you know, that's...
Well, yeah,
yeah.
That's what I meant, right? That's why doing Ice Palace and all this stuff before. Question is gonna be if he's going into TR and how deep.
Yeah, but you should. But I mean, I guess, like, yeah, logically speaking though, because Kermit knows that the mirror, well, he knows that he still need flippers from somewhere, right? And flippers can't be mislocked, so then he can just go mode Ice Palace, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably not gonna mirror. I think he's gonna get the flippers before the mirror again. I think this is not gonna be a go mode Ice Palace, but with the cane, it's rather easy to, you know, just go ahead.
True. Yeah, in this case, you know, Brave having the mirror, we don't have to be as careful, basically, for Light World, Dark World traversals. We can literally just Go to Super Bunny, do Hookshot Cave. If he wants to floating island for another bottle, great. Otherwise, we'd actually just go into Turtle Rock and open it.
There's something even worse
for
Kermit.
who?
So,
for Kermit?
Yeah, I just checked his personal tracker and it says Turtle Rock still has an item. So we might even go to Trinex before going to Lumberjack, and that would be a massive time loss.
So for future races, Ravis, as what I've presumed to see, that you are team captain of Team Hime. Have you considered just telling Kermit to, like, you don't have to check Lumberjack, but do you mind just, like, blind getting Lumberjack at some point?
I mean, do you think I agree with skipping Lumberjack and casual Bootsy?
Alright, that's also very fair.
But the problem is Kermit was the one who got the most points in the team, so who the heck am I to, tell them what to do?
At least, like, the Lamos fight is gonna be pretty nice. I mean, Breeze only had the Fire Rod, which was, obviously made things a lot faster. Kermit's, got his choice of what he wants to use. He used Silvers, he used Fire Rod, and he can use, regular arrows if he so chooses. I don't ever see that happening here. But, at least, as you said, Kermit's gonna be able to take these crystals down pretty quickly based on the equipment he has, right? Desert is probably going to be very fast clear. We're going to see Ice Palace be very, very fast inside. So, eventually he's making very good progress, right? In terms of being able to finish the dungeons and get some time back to breathe.
Alright, Brief about to get his bow. Will he go out or not? Because Kermit needs him to go deeper. Because well, I mean, Kermit still has to do Aga. I think this is Breeze's race right now. And he's going out, so he's gonna save him a lot of time, which in all honesty makes sense. Because he can still say, okay, you know what, after pod, I still have bad options, right? So I'm gonna go back to TR after that, I guess. At least that's, what good people do, I guess. But yeah, we could also see him going Eastern after that, in theory. Well, no, we can't. He gets the Ice Run, it's gonna be in Go mode. Never mind. So this looks like the Spy Cave check for Kermit. Because, like, I think he's out of locations for his flippers, other than, like, Catfish.
Yeah, but
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we go Turtle Rock.
Maybe this is gonna be Turtle Rock. Well, it could be like Turtle Rock into Spy Cave. I mean, and again, he needs to do this, right? He does need to do this eventually. It is just gonna be one extra mountain climb for him, at the end of the day.
But the thing is, I really want him to tell that the flippers are not mid-slocked. And with that, it can only be the mirror on Trinex. And if you find the mirror next, like, you're just in Go mode.
You know what? Just bring some tea, or coffee, whatever is, going to be a little bit more soothing, and we can go through the seat together. We're gonna check Ether Tablet. I totally forgot about this as existed. Okay, so maybe there's gonna be Ether Tablet into Spike Cave.
Yeah, I mean, but this is, again, not gonna help them really much.
Well, I mean, he's gonna get through... Okay, it looks like, Ether Tablet into Turtle Rock into Spike Cave.
That is, still a massive time investment, like the entire mountain thing here. Like, he's gonna go back to the west side again, right? So he technically went east with the hookshot, went up, went west with the boots and the hammer, went back to east to Turtle Rock, and then goes back west again in the end, right? So this is still a
it is a good amount of time back and forth. I certainly do agree with you. For what it's worth, it's still probably better than like another mountain trip. Like, but yeah, the mirror
better than skipping. I mean,
it's sometimes the stars just like don't align. For again, you can't control like what the seed rolls. What the item placements are. Like if Kermit had already decided that he's gonna skip out Lumberjack, hey, Stalfos. Thank you. You know, like it didn't have to be a seed specifically that was rolled with this specific item layout, right? Nothing, you know, it could have been just like the, I don't even know what percentage, you know, 90 whatever % of seeds that lumberjack just has nothing. You know, it's like a blue rupee or something, and then you know none of this ever would have cared or happened. It just happens to be in this case that this particular item is pretty important for Kermit, and it's just unfortunate that that was the decision that was made for this particular situation.
Yeah, I think we had that last year too. Honestly, I think also with lumberjack and casual boot.
Well, you guys are still made it to the Invitational. I think you've been here since season 2, I want to say. So it certainly does not seem to if the lesson, if he needs to learn, it hasn't sunk quite yet, because you guys still keep succeeding and winning on an overall scale. So.
And there's go mode for brief in 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 40 seconds. So he needs to get the big key from the top left in the dark maze, and then proceeds to finish the seed. So yeah, brief. After this, only has 1 crystal dungeon to do. Meanwhile, when Kermit is done, he still needs to go to Spy Cave, get his flippers. At some point, check lumberjack. Also do ice and swamp. So there's right now quite a bit of difference.
Yeah, and it certainly does seem like Kermit, I mean, again, like the mirror in itself, like yes, it does lock him out of Swamp Palace, and yes, it would also lock him out of all of the mirror lock checks. But we're also kind of seeing that on the counter side, the mirror also affords you a ton of efficiency, which Bree took very great advantage of, right? Being able to do, let's say, like powder check with Smith chain, and getting up to the mountain, Hera, via the mirror, and kind of you just mentioned this, right? Kermit's traversal up on the mountain. If you want to try and do everything light and dark, once you get to the Dark World, you can't go back without a mirror, right? So that's why Kermit ran all the way to Ether Tablet and then run all the way back to Turtle Rock, and now we're probably gonna run all the way back to Spike Cave. You certainly do lose, and I think with all the situation also in Pod, Kermit probably also did lose a little bit more time to breathe, because you have to walk out, you have to run out, something. You can death warp, but it's certainly going to be slower than having a mirror to navigate.
Yeah, I mean, he would pretty much now need to check, the lumberjack ledge, and then go ahead, but it's not gonna happen.
Oh my gosh! And again, okay, so I mean, this is every race is still independent, so one race is certainly not going to make or break the series. But it is still again just very unfortunate for Kermit and this particular situation. Yeah, but actually, kind of looking at Brief side, they just have, in this case, Pod to finish up, which they're already doing, and then they're gonna basically go and finish up Turtle Rock, and we can go to GT. Oh, by the way, so Brief, at least, I'm not sure how long they've been around in terms of just playing random specifically, but in terms of League, they are a newly promoted team from the Open League of last season, being Breve, Top Life, and Sinhee. By the way, Open League winner, yes, very, very strong team, coming up basically from the Open League. Winning the whole thing, I think, does give you some amount of credibility here.
I think they've been around for a longer time. I think Breve, I've seen them in ladder over a lot of seasons, so I don't even remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm not sure how much maybe glitch stuff that at least they've been playing, but yeah, I certainly remember seeing Brief around playing. I think my first experience were probably entrance CrossKeese, but I mean they've certainly been playing quite some time. Oh, for sure, yeah, kind of
ice and for Kermit. I mean, this is rather a pretty normal on the way clear potentially.
Yeah, and I mean, for what it's worth, once you have written off a set of locations, up before the seed has even started, right? Kermit has done, a fairly decent job of routing in and managing the locations he has remaining, right? Assuming we're just not going to check Lumberjack until like the very, very last possible scenario, right? Like these are the options available to him, and he has done his best basically to, you know, again, be efficient.
See, that's why I said I like the pedestal check, because he would be now in a position after ice to commit to maybe Mire and then go to pedestal and get nothing. So he, you know, went
exactly
with the book instead of, but on the other hand, the book also made him go on the mountain as well.
yeah, that book. You're right. I think that book ultimately did hurt him. You know, as I mentioned exactly, Ether Tablet without the mirror is pretty terrible. I mean, it's almost as, you know, like there's like for those of you maybe who play inverted, I mean, not that that's necessarily I would encourage you to do so, but you know, in those scenarios, right, that's one of the reasons why Hera is probably one of the worst dungeons, because there is no shortcut. The only way to get there is you have to basically take, you know, the loop around the mountain, and that's exactly kind of what happened here. You don't have the mirror.
Kermit having some trouble with the icebreaker. Meanwhile, Brief back into Turtle Rock. Only needs to find the keys remaining.
Yeah, did we get the big key? I guess. Oh no, big key was in Chomps. That's right. Yeah, that was also probably another setback that Kermit had, was if he had just made it through the door. No, didn't have to necessarily do the front of Turtle Rock. I guess we're gonna get a total of 3 times on his side, but at least he didn't have to do it the second time.
Oh wow, we're getting to icebreaker.
Oh, I guess maybe he's worried about magic, or
no,
just couldn't get icebreaker today. Okay.
The magic extension from Eastern.
Yeah, just getting a little bit more. Like, we do have bombos, you know, for what it's worth, so it's not like breaking out Cold Stair Shell is going to be an issue at the very end.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there are guaranteed 2 pots of magic right before the fight, so, you know, even if you go in with nothing, you have bombos, you can still make it. It just happens to be, you know, like if you want a little bit extra magic, putting down the Samaria block or something like that, you know, it's certainly very helpful. And of course, yeah, as you I think we mentioned this earlier, the swords were pretty accessible. I'm trying to actually think. So one was in Beasttown, front 4. One was in our house. One was in Hype Cave. So yeah, the rest of the fights are going to be pretty easy. For what it's worth, yeah.
Where you go anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think it would have been pretty interesting, for what it's worth, if there was like a sword on Lumberjack, and that was like the difference between, you know, tempered and Master Sword.
What a way around.
So we have
instead of bomb jumping to the right from the chest, but okay, whatever.
Good routing strategies here by Ravis in Ice Palace.
All right.
Okay. So you're playing actually Sunday, is that right? That's the second half of the series? Okay. I remember seeing your name on the schedule versus Inhi. I just couldn't remember what time you guys were playing, so.
Yeah.
Alright, so Brave just needs to get their small key out of Laser Bridge, which I believe is the 3rd chest. Oh, that was a really nice refill on Laser Bridge as well.
And the mirror shield actually being helpful with the laser beams. So it would be interesting to know which of the 2 bows was the actual bow. You know, if the green pennant one is the bow, then this could have been a close one. But I mean, we're not over yet. But still, Kermit has to do Agate Tower and Swamp Palace. Yeah, it's still a lot of time that he has done this. Meanwhile, they're gonna go to GT now, and even if it's like a tie room thing.
All right. I hope that the audio was a little bit better. Sorry, it was a little loud.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, Brief just found their 7th crystal, which means we have a little GT Biggie guessing game. Clear Mouse, which one is it gonna be?
Alright, well, let's see. I guess I'll hope it's early. So I also don't know what route Brief likes to go take. If they're a left side first person, torch person. But I guess I'll like to go early. So let's say 7.
Alright.
Brief is already playing as if they're on Fast ROM, showing us the gold sword in its right before GT. In Fast ROM, for what it's worth, I don't think like you incur lag frames there, so you can actually you don't even have to like dash cancel or anything like that. You can just just have the cutscene do all the work for you. Apparently it does, you know, like, I've heard at least from a couple sources, so... But, you know, I've also personally never timed this, and I don't know if I have any, like, definitive proof, so... Yes, that's right.
So
mentally it's important.
No keen hope room as well. Meanwhile, Kermit finishing up Cold Stare gets his mirror shield.
Did Brief, like, walk out of hope room? Is it faster than mirror?
Oh yeah, I mean, no, you're right. Mirroring is probably faster. I don't know, but maybe just a habit or something.
Okay, it could be, yeah. But that's actually kind of, yeah, I think I was just maybe caught a little bit off guard. Because I just definitely expected a mirror there because I've just seen it so many other times from people. Oh, half magic, kind of nice.
Yeah, immediately using it with Ether.
Yeah, Ether is definitely by far the best medallion to use there. You know, Bombos, of course, also does the trick. It's just, you know, much slower, so... Medallions, by the way, were considered to be somewhat underrated and to use in, let's say, especially in Randomizer.
Oh, that's the big deal.
Oh, nice decision.
I think this is 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I was kind of close. I see Sacrijust?
Yeah.
Nice.
GG's. So yeah, Kermit now on his pyramid and catfish trip. I wonder, are we gonna do... Because I think the only things he has left is Agaledge and also catfish. Sorry, Zora. And
poor Kermit. Yeah. Oh, poor Kermit. I mean, like all the places to kind of, I don't know, decide that those were no longer going to exist to you. You know, for this particular seed, like Zora, I guess is like not too big of a deal. But I mean, like it was kind of 2 like world locations, I guess, and this one was just, I guess, particularly punishing. You know, for at least from an educational perspective, we definitely see all of the locations that you can get to that are not mirror locked and not miss locked, for that matter.
Yeah. I mean, really, we were, you know, only some things in GT, and I think Mimic Cave are the only ones that we're not gonna see, and Bombo Step, well, Bombo Tablet is something we didn't check. But yeah, a couple of things are still open. Red Bomb. Alright, what we're gonna do first, looks like Zora to me. You know, if he does Zora here, oh wait. Oh, mirrorless Smith chain.
I thought we weren't doing that before without the mirror. Wait, are we going back on strategy now?
Well, he has nothing, like, I think that is the least bad outcome from his perspective, hanging a mirror on maybe purple chest, for example. So, how would his opponent get it? Like, Zora is worse, and yeah, Lumberjack as well. Well, and in the end, the race was decided after pretty much 6.5 minutes.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, we had, again, you know, our copium did spike pretty significantly, and there were multiple points in the seed that Kermit, I guess, could have decided to go back on his initial strategy, right? And we're kind of seeing, you know, now, right? Like, Kermit is doing the mirrorless Smith chain that he's also said that he was not going to do without the mirror, and We could have seen him, do Aga or check Lumberjack, before this too, right? But it was, again, like, whether or not, it was like the right or wrong decision for Kermit, people probably could make decisions, that you want to skip out, ahead of time, right? Yeah, those ones.
The cool thing for him is if he does purple chest and does Zora before, then after Zora he doesn't need to check Lumberjack. He can just go Aga. He knows where his next program is gonna be. So actually, not double dipping Lumberjack is a small time save technically.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That is a massive amount of copium, obviously.
Yeah, and again, the mirror that is sitting on Lumberjack that, Kermit still unfortunately doesn't have access to. Like, part of the reason why people do not like to do mirrorless Smith Chain is there's, just like we don't like mirrorless Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain, it's a lot of back and forths. And this place, saving quits are also very expensive. I mean, they may not necessarily seem like it in terms of time investments, but one saving quit is I don't know, 8 seconds or something like that.
I think Kermit is gonna start the climb. And then, or maybe Ghost is on the way to Aga when Brief's gonna finish here.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I think we're gonna still see Zora.
Yeah, Brief is, it definitely made their way up the tower very well. I believe we did check Moldrum chest. Maybe we get some silvers along the way. We do know the silvers. Most likely, Brief is just never getting. I mean, certainly not at this point, but like even in the as the way that they routed, because it's on green pendant turn in, yeah, they weren't gonna get silver sometime soon. Yeah, but looks like we're gonna do in reverse order in terms of things that we said that no longer existed to us. We did Mirror the Smith Chain. We're gonna do Zora, and then now we're going to go to Aga eventually. Maybe.
Yeah. I think he has nothing left after that.
Yeah, I believe you are correct.
He's there and hopes that his opponent did the same stuff, and it doesn't. Of course it doesn't.
Alright, yeah, so Brief also got... not even gonna pick up that extra heart container. Okay, so this is gonna be Aga, in theory, for Kermit. We are starting at the house, so...
Yeah, I think someone knows where to go. Remember that area?
Is that someone? Is it someone Kermit? Brief is just asking for a friend.
It's okay, it happens.
Oh, it does. No. I mean, again, like, I think I also mentioned, saw this mentioned in your chat earlier, like, League, while it's still competitive, is also still, you play the game that you would like to be, you would like to play it as. It is supposed to be, for you / your team's, enjoyment.
Yeah, so...
And this is what Kermit wants to do, even Team Captain Ravis cannot change his mind, so...
Well, I mean, he's more often than not successful in his.
No, for sure. I mean, right? Like,
it just feels like a little. You feel a little stupid after skipping that 7 minutes, and then when you finally realize where your progression is, the restream knows it since 1 hour and whatever minutes. And you're like, oh god, okay, they all knew what's gonna happen. And it's like, but yeah, it happens.
It does, and for what it's worth, right? You did mention, right? Kermit is definitely more successful than not, and it happens to be like the outliers, right, are the ones that get sensationalized because they're the ones that make headlines, right? Yeah. But with that though, Brief has taken this casual boost race in the bag, scoring up the series 1-0, taking their victory over Kermit. Big GGs.
Yeah, get your GGs in. A very nice race from Brief here.
We did it. Yeah, no, Brief definitely routed this quite well. I mean, they played well, right? And again, we might be seeing a bit more, more traditionalist, less polarizing decisions in terms of what they wanted to skip. I don't actually know if they consciously skipped anything. Just kind of happened to be though, again, they're probably their most inefficient portions were just kind of isolating Waterfall Ferry. GG's, Brief. We are also joined by today's victor.
Hi. Thanks, yeah, good game.
Did you? So yeah. So any I guess like were you feeling good / bad about the seed at all? I mean, there were a couple of troublesome items. Certainly, I think maybe like the bow placement was probably like the least desirable. But I think also through the traversal of your routing, like it was kind of unfortunate. Waterfall Fairy maybe had your mitts because you did kind of isolate that for a bit.
Yeah, that was annoying. Full cleared swamp because I felt good about the flippers, and then full cleared swamp for nothing, and was like, I guess I'll go back to Waterfall Fairy. Then yeah, ended up doing Smiths because it could give me powder after finally getting a bottle. And then was just like, I guess I'll go to ice. But doing ice without Kane before the mountain probably made me go into TR, so I can't complain too much.
We are also joined here by Kermit, GG's Kermit.
GG's.
Yo. So I don't know if you maybe call it to like the part of the restream brief. So I guess like before the race, Kermit had at least informed the commentators that there were going to be a couple checks that Kermit was just like we're just not going to check. I'm not going to, and one of them happened to be Lumberjack. So after escape, we saw him true to his word, just basically head straight over to Lost Woods and then, continue, and you checked Lumberjack for us. And, it turns out there's a pretty important mirror just kind of sitting on there. So that's what Kermit's ultimately missing.
Yeah. Well, I heard that he hadn't checked it. I didn't know that that's like the plan, but I guess you have to plan to not do it. Yeah, that sucks. I ended up kind of rushing it, although I could have gone there sooner. But yeah, I just figured I want to get it, like even before Hera and stuff, because it just makes everything nicer.
Yeah, and I think that was also very reasonable, just because you didn't have a Dark World map deck, so like maybe Swamp's dependent, but as we actually kind of saw in the seed, or at least in the race as well, like you were very, very efficient with the mirror. There's you do a lot of like Smith chain altogether, like you didn't have any holes there, all of the mountain stuff, right? No holes there, and yeah, again, just very efficient. So if nothing else, like let's say it wasn't required, you got a lot of time back from the Aga climb, so you didn't have to go back and forth. And I guess like Kermit, your traversals were very again creative. Yep, a lot of popcorn for us.
I think it would have been actually pretty good if the mirror was somewhere else. I might have actually won because like the Titans were probably big. Huh?
I mean, isn't that how Rando works basically? If the items were somewhere else, I could win.
True, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, I know what you mean with that, but yeah, it's it happens.
Just feels bad, like if you were racing the 3 first races of your team and you lose all of them, kind of feels very bad, to be honest. So, and this is supposed to be my best mode. Yeah, feels really bad.
I mean, it was very unfortunate that like the 1 or 2 places that you chose to skip in this case, or chose not to check initially, were, I mean, again, it didn't have to be this punishing. Like if it was just a red rupee there, like it would have been, a certainly much more different race. But there's always next week next week. There's always Ravis and versus Inhi, right, coming up. I believe on Sunday.
Yeah.
So best of luck. But yeah, big GG's for you. Like you did quite well for the seed. So yeah, you were definitely very thorough, and you also were able to avoid. I think you didn't go into Eastern right at all. You didn't go into Mire. Probably like the biggest thing that was probably like a time sink for you was North Dark World. But I mean, you were still able to do that very efficiently. So
yeah, I would have been really worried if I had to go into Pendants because I didn't feel like going into any of them while I had a chance to, and then if I had to go and look in one, I didn't know what I was going to do. So yeah, that was lucky.
Certainly made a big splash so far. Coming up from last season's Open League champions into Invitational League, so looks like you guys are doing quite well so far.
Yeah, thanks. It's nice to be here, and yeah, excited for the rest of the modes.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, we can probably wrap things up a little bit. Any other thoughts from you two? before we kind of end things?
Well,
Thanks
GG's
for-
again, Brave, and good luck for the rest of the season. And yeah, I hope my team can win a few races without me.
I'm sure we can win some with you. Yeah. Thanks for the restream and commentary, tracking and watching. Yeah.
It was certainly it was a very interesting race. I will say, for what it's worth, like Kermit definitely really brought on the red chili pepper flakes for this particular one. Lots of excitement, but I mean, again, like Brave, that's certainly not. That's certainly like you did quite well, for this. It just happened to be that this race was very, very divergent. So, but thank you so much for racing. It was a lot of fun, and I want to say thank you to Shasta, our tracker. I mean, popping in basically just like super last minute, doing all the tracking, keeping track, everything honest for us. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. And I want to say, like, Ray, thank you. it was fun. It may not be the best result, but I hope you still had a good time.
Yeah, well, definitely. Thanks everyone, and have a good one.